Okay, been there, done that. Oh, okay, May 2022, this is our monthly meeting. And I talked about the phones, we'll shut those off. Next will be our agenda. We'll go through the treasurer's report, talk about membership, a little bit about our computer club matters, classes, Ralph, be here helping us out with that, community matters, and then our great feature presentation, which I'm sure we'll all love. They're kind of small today, so I said to the print, but here it is. Do you want me to read all those numbers? Or
No.
can you see them a little bit and everything? Tell me when to click the button to get to the next one. Now, okay, all right. Our membership, our one-year membership, people are 505 have signed up to renew their membership. The three-year membership, which are the more positive people, they're going to be here for 3 more years, 2008. And as of April 30th, 1,500 have signed up already. It's a lot. It's good though. Membership, the renewal period begins now and runs through June 30th. So, and they're renewing out in the lobby if you're interested in doing that today. And it's a discount renewal, $10 for 1 year and $15 for 3 years. Dues are $25 for 1 year. If you let your dues run out or you're not a member, to start over again, it's going to be $25. So remember, renew it. Emails were sent to those that need to renew. So hopefully everybody did get an email and are aware of what they need to renew. Computer Club Matter. Second Thursday of the month is where we are now, and we always have coffee and donuts. We all know that. Okay. And our lab is open on Monday and Thursdays from 9 until noon. And of course, after the meeting today, we'll be open for a little while. And for those of you who need to do digitizing, things like that, whether it's slides, pictures, or anything, we have a book for each machine that we use that you need to sign up. It's very busy now, so if you want to come in next Monday and digitize some pictures, you need to sign up in that book so we know if 5 people come in, if your name's in there, you would get the first choice on that. So come in and sign up on the books. Let's go down here. The Apple group meets on the first Tuesday and in the lab at 9 a.m. Photography group meets the first Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the lab. And Thursday, June 9th, is our next monthly meeting, and we'll have the fire department here giving us some good information on that. We'll know. The next one, July 14th, will be home automation. You would be surprised what you could do in your home. So that'll be a really interesting one. And then August 11th, cloud backup and storage. Where's Bill? He's a very positive person when it comes to that. And that's a good one to do today, the cloud backup and storage. Okay, we have our little fun thing today. Everybody can read it. Yeah. When I saw this, of course, I laughed. I worked with David Good on this, president, and I said, we need a picture next to that with a 7-year-old kid telling his grandparents like this, I told you that. And when I asked my granddaughter, that's where I learned a lot of stuff. Her common phrase is, I told you that 3 times already. So, I don't know if I'll forget it. Computer Club Matters. The classes are free to all members. You don't have to sign up, you just come in for that day. And there usually is enough room for everybody, but like I said, you don't have to sign up, and they're free if you're a member. And there is no registration. If you see the class and you want to take it, you want to come, just please do that. And of course, bring your password in case you need access to your device. Carry that with you. Okay, Computer Club Matters. Next, we have a lot of classes and training and everything. And Ralph Warrington is very, very knowledgeable on that. So he's going to come up and talk about that.
I'm not sure about the knowledgeable portion of it. I just know who's smart, and I try to get them to teach a class. But I'm sure you probably realize that when we have our classes, that we're having phone classes, usually 2 Androids a month and 1 iPhone class a month, and we figured we ought to do that because smartphones are about like Social Security numbers. Everybody's got one, so this is a good example that you can come and learn a lot more about your phone. The last one that I attended was an iPhone. That's when we have one. I think there was 13 people there. We had 26 at one of the Android classes. So you can always learn something about your phones, particularly if they update it and something changes and you can't figure out where it is. Usually we can tell. We still have 5 more classes in the month of May, and 2 of them are phone classes. We have a Word class, we've got the Google Docs class, we also have a Windows 11 class. So if you got a new computer, you probably want to come to that Windows 11 class. So Shelley has been doing a lot of work on finding out where they put the same stuff that we had on 10 into 11. I mean, Microsoft, I can't believe that they do that. But anyway, if you're interested in teaching a class, we're always looking for instructors, and we're really looking for somebody to help Ken. See Ken? Ken, raise your hand. Ken's been doing all the videotaping because we store the classes on YouTube, and he really needs help because, like today, he said, I really wasn't feeling good, but I had nobody to do it. So if you have any information that you could, it's just like running video cameras. Pretty simple. You can be the director. You can split back and forth. So talk to Ken if you think you'd like to, try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But get an idea of what it is because he does need help. He's relying on him every week, or every month to do the classes. So keep that in mind. And also, we'll see you at the classes.
Before we get into our next information here, Frank Eister would like to say a few things on Chrome.
Howdy. You all heard me at the last couple of meetings talking about Chrome. They're offering it free for your old computers now. So if you got any old computer at home laying in the closet, and you think, well, maybe I'll keep that for a while and figure out what to do with it someday or give it away. You could put Chrome on it, and the computer would do anything you want. Because most of us all use it to look up stuff, and we go on the internet. So that's perfect for Chrome. So it's not a complete replacement for every user here, but majority of it is. So I just want to let you know, you can get free Chrome at the lab on your old computer. So it will completely wipe out Windows on that old computer, and it will run Chrome. So it has an advantage. It will do anything that you can do online. Plus, you can learn how to type a message or answer emails when you're not connected. And then when it connects, it would send the emails. So that's it.
This is a little bit about our community matters and what's going on. There is another website training, May 16th through the 23rd. And you can find these in your Lifestyle magazine. Then there's bingo, May 18th, if you're interested in bingo. The board meeting, May 12th and May 25th. Blood drive, May 23rd. And like I said, this is all in the lifestyles. Then the Sun City board meeting again, May 25th. Memorial Day is May 30th, you know that. And community days are June 6th to June 11th, and that information is also in there. And now what I'd like to do is have Ralph come up here again. He'd like to just sit down and come up and walk around here. And he's going to introduce our feature presentation today.
Well, I imagine a lot of you have probably called into CAM and had a question about how to do different things on the website. Every once in a while there's some changes. And you most likely talk to a lovely young lady named Sandy. Well, she is here. So after today, you'll know who Sandy Ausland is. So Sandy, come up.
Good morning. I met the lovely young lady, and I like that. Thank you, Ralph.
You're younger than almost all of us.
I could be living here though, so I don't know. I'd also like to introduce Grace. She is our communications coordinator. Say hello, Grace. She is who you may talk to sometimes if you have problems getting on as well, not getting emails. She also is the one responsible for putting together the lifestyle. So if you're a part of a charter club or a neighborhood and you've submitted information, Grace is who you send it to. I gotta take this off, it's too noisy. And she's gonna kind of drive for me today on the website. Teresa mentioned our upcoming website trainings. It worked out timing really well. Dave Good called me up and said, you know, could I do a presentation today? And we had just put into the May Lifestyles our upcoming presentations. So we've already done one earlier this week. And that one, yes, is gonna be a little bit longer than today. At those presentations, it's about an hour. I go into a little bit more detail on each of the pieces of the website, and then it took about, I think I had about a half hour of questions and how-tos and things like that. So today's just going to be a little bit more of a summary. With a show of hands, how many here have already logged into the website and they use the website? Wow, good. You guys don't need me. How many have never logged in? Raise your hands. Don't be shy. Okay, good. I challenge all of you, when you go home today, to hop on and see if you can log in. If you have any problems, please give Grace or I a call. I have handouts in the back of the room. On the last page has Grace's contact information. If you have not ever logged in most cases, you're going to log in with your member ID number, and that will also be your password. But first, just a quick review. They recently, well, very recently, yesterday, they launched a new front page or home page of the website. The idea are the links are a little bit quicker. So if you're interested in what's going on with the board, you click on Deanna's lovely picture there. Oh, no, sorry, the board, where it says board meeting information. Deanna's picture, if you've missed an email, as much as we'd like to know that e-blasts are the great way to get communications, it's not always perfect. We send out kind of a lifestyles email every Tuesday. And on Fridays, it's an email from Deanna, more about the nuts and bolts of your community, board, seal coding, things like that. If you realize you haven't gotten one, you can always come to the home page and click on whatever date is missing. Association bulletin board, that's just kind of what's going on. There's going to be some seal coding information, things like that, curbside pickup. There also is a tab on upcoming events, as well as towards the bottom, a quick link to the charter clubs and the neighborhoods. This will take you right there. Kind of the idea is a one-click to get where you want to go. But first, let's go ahead. Grace already logged me in. I just realized that. For those of you who have never logged in, up in the right corner, all the way up, Grace, can you take it all the way up? It would say resident login, I believe is what it says. That is where you would enter your member ID and your password. Grace already logged us in. So we're going to go ahead. When you look at your website, the blue buttons, it's Resident Center. It's kind of everything to know about you. Your profile, your passwords, things like that. Lifestyle, it's all about the lifestyle, the fun stuff. Community, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that in a minute. Community is the nuts and bolts, your board, your neighborhood. Contact us. If you need an address or a phone number, you would click on that one. And the board and busters, for those of you who have been here pre-COVID, 2020 was when we were sending all those fun packs and doing lots of kind of email fun things. You can still find some of those on that one. Those are your main navigation. Across the top, you'll see some gray ones. You've got calendar, my reservation. We'll talk a little bit more on those. Shopping cart and logging out. When you're at home, you don't have to worry about logging out so much, but if you are at, let's say you're here or you're going to a Panera Bread and you want to, get on the website, always remember to log out. And I'm sure the computer club is always talking, never do anything financially or anything on an open network, which I'm sure you guys have talked about in the past. So let's go ahead and click on the Resident Center. This is where you're going to see your profile information. This is where you can edit. In the far right corner, you'll see there's a button. You don't need to click it, Grace. But this is where you can edit all of your information. If If your phone number has changed, your email has changed, that is everything that you would go ahead and update. On member settings, this is what can be seen in the directory. If you can go ahead and click that. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can even hide yourself. I oftentimes think, some people think they're in the witness protection plan. They don't want anybody to find them, but I sometimes will tell them, Google your name, you'll be amazed at what people can find out about you. But it does give you the option, if maybe you only have a cell phone now and no longer have a home phone, and you want people to get a hold of you, you might want to check on your profile to make sure that the cell phone is checked. Always remember, anytime you're making changes, to scroll to the bottom and click update or save, depending where you're at. Additional information, now you're on the left sidebar. My reservations, if you want to click on that. Let's say you signed up for a whole bunch of classes, but you can't really remember what you signed up for, or you're not sure if you signed up. I've signed up for a couple of events, and it'll show you what I've signed up for. It'll show me reserved. It will also show me what I'm on for the wait list. Just continuing down, Grace, you don't need to click. You can update your credit card, or you can add your credit card. Your resident interests are, what are you currently part of? Your computer club, any charter clubs. The next item on the sidebar under your resident are view statements. This is where you can take a look at your assessments, your invoices. This is also where, if you decide you want to pay online, you can complete that as well. Resident directory, that's probably a really hot one that's used all the time. If you want to click on that, Grace. The resident directory is where you can look up a friend of yours, or maybe there's somebody that you met and now you want to follow up with a phone call. Go ahead and click on resident directory. You can enter by name. What I always caution people is your name in the resident directory is how you legally signed all of your title papers or your move-in papers. So, for example, I'm a Sandra L. Oslins when I sign all of my papers. Most likely, I'm going to be in here as Sandra L. Oslins. So typically, I tell people, start with the last name. That's going to be your best bet. If you don't know the last name, then you can start with the first. So, for example, who can we do? How about we do Frank Wright? Oh, no, we'll do Ralph. He introduced me. Let's do Ralph. And Ralph, how do you spell your last name?
R-A-L-P-H. W-E-H-N-E-S. W-E-H-N-E-S.
And hit search or enter. And now go ahead, you would click on the name. It is only going to give you a summary to start. If you want to know an address, you would click on his name. What kind of picture is that, Ralph? Go ahead and click on his name. And that will give you the additional information. But it also tells you what is showing on your name. It'll show for computer club, Euchre, what neighborhood he belongs to. And then you can hit back, or you can always, if you're in Chrome, you can always hit your back key. The other item the document library is another, especially come summertime. The document library is where you're going to get your modifications, applications. You're going to get some board information. If you're part of a charter club or you're a president of a charter club, this is where you would get your charter club information. If you're part of NAC, if you're a neighborhood rep, you would actually go to the neighborhood page, which we'll be touching on. Forms and orders. You can also go up in the right corner. You'll see there's a search bar. You can search up there, but you kind of want to be a little specific because that's a pretty broad-based search. So you kind of want to have an idea of what you're searching for. Let's go ahead and try guidelines. I think that's what they call it, isn't it? Your design guidelines. Let's see what we get. You should be worried. I haven't tested this one. Let's see. So you kind of have to scroll. It kind of gives you, here's your exterior. Grace, is that guideline a live link on number 3? I don't know if that would be a live link. So that's under the question and answer page. You can also find it out that way. Don't be afraid to check around, see what's on the website. If you surf other pages, you'll have a good idea. The other really popular tab on this particular one is the classified ads. How many people have been on the classified ads? Yeah, it's a fun page. You can buy and sell from this page. This is only for Sun City Huntley community residents. I strongly encourage you to use pictures. If you don't have the ability, Grace can help you upload. You take it from your phone, she can help walk through, or the computer club, I'm sure, could help you with that as well. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, so you really want to upload a picture. But shopping-wise, they'll show the telephone number. It's a 30-day on the website. Up at the top, though, let's say you have some items to sell. You can put up 5 items at a time, 5 different submissions. You would click on the Submit Your Classified Ad. That'll kind of give you a little bit more of the details, kind of the parameters. Enter your basic information. You want to make sure you include your email. Your upload file, that's where you would go on your desktop or somewhere in your computer to upload that file. It does need to be less than 3. So if your phone setting is on the high resolution, you might want to bring it down just a bit. End of the day, we do have people sometimes when they're moving and all of a sudden they realize they have a whole lot of stuff that they got to get rid of, and they may be moving in 2 weeks. That's where we ask if you need it off before 30 days to please let us know, because otherwise you're going to get phone calls after you move. So that's important to include. Cost of the item, we have a lot of people that after they move in, they have boxes and packing material that they want to kind of pay it forward to other people, or they just have furniture that they just need to get moved, and it's free. You can go ahead and enter free, and that will also be up there. And then a description. And you do kind of want to give, if it's a sizable, if it's something that's size related, give the dimensions. That'll help with your phone calls, things like that. Do not forget to hit send now. Again, always remember, send now, update, save. You always want to make sure you go to the bottom of the page. And that's pretty much it, how to submit a classified ad. Typically, we ask give us 48 business days, that's all. 48 hours, 2 business days, for Grace to upload it, and Grace is the one who will be doing that as well. So if you have any questions, give her a call, she'll be happy to help. Let's say you do sell it. I mean, sometimes things go up and in 2 days it's sold. All you need to do is, scroll down a bit. There is a submit a delete request. If you send that in, she'll take it down so that you're not still getting phone calls for 28 more days for you having to say it's sold. She can remove it as soon as it gets sold, or again, in 48 days to get sold. So that's pretty much it on the Residence Center. The next item I'd like to go over, and I have handouts in the back that kind of go step by step as well, is the calendar. If you want to register an event, the fastest way to get to where you need to go is clicking on the calendar. You can also click on the lifestyle, but it's a button up at the top, and then there's a search box. I find searching is the fastest, so whether you have a fitness class, an event, a regular class, a trip, you can just enter, let's do Four Winds Casino. I'm in charge of trips, so that's why. And you can just hit enter, you don't need to type the whole thing, it'll bring it up. It'll show you all the different trips under Four Winds Casino. It will say to the right if it's unavailable, or if it's available, it gives you the basic details. It will show you how many seats are left. We have 43 left. If you want to register, you click on that particular box. And it'll get, Four Winds, you can't register online. Oops. Let's go find another trip. Four Winds Casino is the only, I think, Four Winds Casino and tabled events, so like luncheons and dinners and bingo, you do need to come into the one of the member service desks to register. So let's go ahead and do, what do we want to do? Where do we want to travel? Let's go to, type in Drury Lane. Let's see what comes in there. DRURY. So we've got Steel Magnolias. I think we might have another one. Nope. So click on Steel Magnolias. Scroll to the bottom. It gives you the price. And let's say I want to go on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have somebody else come with me. So I'm gonna click on the add more. And I will either enter my name or I would enter whoever is coming with. But I changed my mind, I'm just gonna go by myself. I would hit delete. I'm gonna add that to the cart. Now this one will ask questions. Most of the things where you have to answer a question, it is mandatory, so just go ahead and check away whatever you want to check. Oh, mahi mahi. I have to be honest, I've never had mahi mahi. Now you'll see up at the top, this is really important, it says tentative registration added in cart. Quite often we have people that think they're done at this point. They don't continue on. And then they show up at the event or the class or the trip and they don't understand, well, why am I not on the roster? Always go up to the top to see what it says. You need to proceed to the checkout. So you would click on proceed. And it's got me registered, or it's got me set up for there. But now all of a sudden I realize, oh, I need to sign up for that class. You don't need to click, Grace, but right there at the top to purchase additional classes, click here to be redirected. It will take you back. But if I want to be done, I'm going to click proceed to checkout. And because I've already registered, it's going to populate my card. If you ever need to change your card, that's when you would toggle back to your residence center and go in and you could update your card. I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but if you ever have questions, Grace or I are always available to help you. But I'm not going to go ahead and pay. I've changed my mind totally. So I'm going to go back to the cart. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove it. Now, if you don't do that, I believe your event will be taken off, is it 24 hours? 24 hours, it will automatically come up, but it's not a bad idea to go ahead and take it out. So that's how you maneuver for the registration. And again, I go into a little bit more detail during the workshop. So we've done the residence center, we've done the calendar. Let's take a look at the lifestyle tab. The most often on this one, you're going to be coming to this is either if you don't want to use the calendar or for the clubs. So when you click on the clubs, and you'll also notice there's a little plus minus, some of those around. You'll find when you click on that, there's a little bit more information. But we're going to go ahead and click on charter clubs. And this will take you to all of the different charter clubs. We're finding more and more of our charter clubs are starting to list their information both on their webpage as well as communicate by email. It's a great tool. So let's go ahead and click on Computer Club and let's see what they've got. They have their newsletter here. So let's say you're thinking, I haven't heard from the chair, from Computer Club. You can always come to this page and they'll have their current newsletter. We've got the photography group page. If you're part of the photography club or the group, you can click. Anytime you see click here, that's where it is. If you don't see a click, more and more websites today are not making the hyperlinks look so obvious. But if you ever see a little hand when you're hovering over things, that means it's a live link. So you can go ahead and click on that. Again, this just gives information. As you scroll through, it'll give you a little bit more. Talks about the classes that are coming up. It's a great way to communicate to all of you. If for some reason you realize you haven't gotten their email letting you know, you can always come over here. Or maybe it's the end of the day and you want to find out, you can always come here. The websites are great, the charter clubs are a great way to not only find out what's going on about the clubs that you belong to, but also if you're interested in other charter clubs. I know a couple people today were planning to join that have never been. It's a great way to learn more about the charter clubs that you're interested in. So let's go back up to the top. I believe you guys have a calendar on this page, don't you, someone? Where is that? Nope, they don't use that calendar. They have let's scroll and see if we can find that. How many people go to the calendar that's on the Computer Club page? Well, come on. How many people go to the computer page? All right, good. All right, well, let's find that so you can see what it looks like. Where are we at here? Oh, that, I thought you guys had a Google Calendar or something.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry about that, yeah, I like this better. So there's your calendar. So let's go back up to the top. Couple of other things, let's click back on the resident, oh, and they do have documents. What type of documents can they find? Oh, she moved quickly, I know. You can always use your back key as well. Computer documents. Let's see, documents, they also have their bylaws. So it looks like they've got the application, your newsletters, as you scroll through. Phone services and infotech contact, ooh, that's probably a good one. So yeah, so when you click on it, you'll have a PDF. Now I'm a little bit different, so it's gonna look a little different. Grace, if you can download it, they'll see what it looks like on their screen. Oh, that's different. You gotta love computers. Oh, I know you guys love computers. It's always different. So this will give you an idea on the different contacts, the websites, and things like that. So let's go ahead and X out of that. And we're going to travel now over to the community page. The community menu item is pretty much everything and anything, the nuts and bolts of your community. It's got your committees, it's got your board, it's got our partners, Northwestern, Jameson's, and Whisper Creek, on their information as well. But for this particular, what we're going to go over is your neighborhoods. Every neighborhood also has its own page. For NAP users, where are we at? For NAP users, if you are a NAP, if you're a neighborhood rep, you will find that we don't need to click, but that's where you would find all of your neighborhood documents. But if you're a neighborhood and you're wondering what's going on in your neighborhood, let's go ahead, we'll click on neighborhood 21. How many live in neighborhood 21? Yeah, there you go. So some will give a lot of information, some might only give their reps. We're working on those just to get a little bit more detail. But for neighborhood 21, it lists the three representatives with their phone numbers. If you have questions, or maybe you're a new resident, or you know of a new resident, send them to the site. They always list their current newsletter as well as their current calendar. And it looks like they've got a couple of clubs that you can, book clubs, things like that. But each neighborhood is different. So if you have questions, you can always reach out to your neighborhood rep, or you can also come to your website, come to the neighborhood website and see what they have to offer. And they also have community documents. Some have a lot of pictures. Most do not use the community calendar because they typically only have maybe one meeting a month, or they might even have it every quarter. So that kind of depends. But it does list all of the different neighborhoods. Also on this page, they've got the trail map and the community map. The trail map, how many people here know that there's a trail map? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't know a while back. Let's say you don't have it, or you've got friends or family coming over and they want to do some walk-in or something, you can hop online and print it. We also have hard copies here, but this is kind of a nice, convenient way when you're at home and you don't want to have to come into the building. Let's come back up to the top. And then the contact, the other thing that I did want to, the contact us. Again, that just gives kind of the main addresses as, there we go. Along with all the different departments and who to contact for different departments. Room reservations, your work orders, who to, if you're in an APN, fitness. It's just kind of a nice, again, it is also, all of this information is also in your lifestyle. It's just depending on where you're at or how you get most of your information. Let's come back up to the top. And that's pretty much it on the website. It's a really generic summary of the overview. The other thing that I'd like to mention, how many people here, I know you guys were doing Android and iPhone classes. How many people have the Sun City app on their phone? Raise your hand. Okay. It's really nice to have, I'm not an app user per se, I have an Android. But what I do like about the app is if I don't have my ID card with me, I have my ID card on my phone. So if you don't like to carry your purse, let's say you're a walker, and you don't carry your purse, but you carry your phone, but now you've got to come into the building and you don't have your ID card. If you have the app, and I go through this at my workshops, but if you download the app, either from Play Store from the Android, or the Apple Store, right, that's what they call it, from, on your iPhone, the Sun City Huntley app is the blue sunburst, that blue logo that is part of, Sun City Del Webb. And then in the bottom left corner, you'll see a red, once your login will be your website, username and password will be your member ID and your password that you use for your website. So it's exactly the same. And then once you sign in the bottom left corner, you'll see a red button that says member card. You click on that and that's your ID card. You can just swipe that in the scanners. My understanding is I think they're having the scanners, the scanners are not going away, so it really is a nice handy thing to have. But if you need help with that, again, Grace or I can help you with that. As well as at the workshops, Teresa here was at that one and we put it on her phone and she was good to go. So other than that, the only other question I have before I take some questions is how many people here are on Facebook? Raise your hands. Okay, a couple of you. I'm not either, so don't worry. But there is also, on the classified ad, there is also a classified ad Facebook page. So if you're interested in that, is that anywhere on the website? Do we have a link? Okay, we're gonna put that on the classified page link. So for those of you that do Facebook, log in, go to the classified page, and then there'll be a link. Give us a couple of days. By next week, it'll be out there. So that's kind of a quick overview. I do have handouts in the back that kind of go over some of these pages. Questions, right? Okay, does anybody have any questions?
I have two questions about the classified page. One is, it seems like there's a lot of blank real estate. Is there a way that the featured picture could be larger? And the second question is, when submitting a classified, if we just typed in our member number and the name, address, and phone number auto-populated, that'd make it a lot easier to use.
Did everybody hear all the questions? Okay. The pictures, if you click on the image, it will open up to a larger page, a larger image. The real estate is only when it's by owner. We do not do when it's through a realtor. So if you click on enlarge image, it will open up to a larger image. And pictures really are important. So, you know, you really want to make sure you get an image. As far as will it populate, it does not, because depending if you want your cell phone or your home phone, we can't decipher between. And so we do require the name, excuse me, the name and the number. And I think most everybody knows what their member ID number is. It's on the back of your member ID card.
Sandy, I have a question about the neighborhood reps getting trained to update the neighborhood page. We got new reps in the fall, now it's May, and they're still not clear, and they're having trouble. There's only 2 of you, there's 5,400 homes. You can't possibly field all the questions there are. Maybe there should be more people who know how to teach the skills needed for the reps to update the neighborhood pages.
What she's referring to are the group admins. I've been holding 2 to 4 workshops every month. They have. I'm always available, so have them. No, I'm not. Do you, okay, can I meet you afterwards? Because I meet with people all the time, so I would love to schedule some time. No? Okay. So far I haven't had, you're the first time that somebody's complained that they haven't been able to schedule time with me. So, I can check to see, but I would imagine because, so far I've been able to meet with pretty much everybody. I'd be very happy to meet with you afterwards and maybe see if I can schedule some time.
Hi Sandy. When you register for a classified ad for yourself on our website, does it automatically go to the Facebook classified ad or do you opt out?
No, she's asking about if you post on the classified ad, does it automatically go to the Facebook page? No, it does not. Mainly because not everybody does Facebook. So if you're doing Facebook and you're submitting an ad for the first time or you're posting an ad for the first time, Grace will get that ad and then she will make sure that you're a resident here so that if you are shopping on the Facebook page, you can be confident that it is here in Sun City, Huntley.
Yeah, could you go over that log in, log off, and what's the safest thing for us to do?
All right, let's go ahead and log out. The safest thing, meaning do you stay in or do you log out?
Correct.
Always log out if you're not at home. But if you're at home, I know a lot of people kind of stay logged in, and then when they come someplace, they don't remember their password because it's an automatic login. But if you're, I would imagine if you're at home, you could stay logged in. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Any other questions?
One question I have is, did the response on our internal pages that we see, like the addresses, is that controlled by our server here, or is that by the server for the outside one like it used to be? Or is it all on one outside server now?
You mean what's hosting the website?
Yeah.
It's our server, isn't it?
Yeah, I was always thinking that one of them, the beginning one where you didn't sign in, was hosted by
Oh,
somebody
the
else.
public
The
side?
public side.
We do have,
Once you get on ours, it goes slow most of the time. Just
yeah,
want to let you know,
we
it should be speeded up or a different server.
We can pass that on, but I'm pretty sure the whole thing now is on one website, which is ours. What he's referring to is, we have what we call a public side. This is for people that are interested in your community. Possibly they're considering moving here or they've already moved here and they kind of want to learn a little bit more about it. It kind of gives the basic. Similar to what's inside the community is about your, the clubs, lifestyles, neighborhoods. It doesn't give detailed information about everything, but it kind of gives good overview of each of those pieces that's considered the private side. Any other questions?
I'll be back.
Sandy, how safe is your credit card if you put it on there? Do you just put it on once and then it's there for your other purchases?
It is, the website does have all the securities, what they call certificates. So yes, it is, it's like any other online. The way you can tell, and again, I'm sure the club has had somebody talk about security, and I'm sure I'm not the expert, but if you go up to the top, you'll see a little lock next to the website along with HTTPS. That on any site, if you're somewhere that does not have a lock or only has HTTP, correct, that is not a secure site. So that's kind of a quick look to see is a site secure. So yeah, so the biggest thing that we run into with credit cards is when the expiration date changes. And that you can go in and edit that date. Although I recently heard somewhere that credit cards were going to start letting those go through because the expiration date was not as important, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, yes.
On this community, or on this public page here, when I go to a lot of other Dell websites and other 55+ sites, I see a lot of videos that show how cool and fun it is to live here. Do you have any plans to put something like that on our page? Okay.
Yeah, she's talking about all the videos and how fun, and yeah, we're working on that, and we are going to be taking, so you might see some of us running around with our phone taking videos, so yes, we are. We will be doing that.
Sandy,
updating the photograph on the website, can that be done by you, or how do they do that?
Are you referring to the image that's to the right of a charter club or of a?
No,
Oh,
individually.
your
personal
face.
page. You used to be able to put your own photos in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, because we were not getting, images that we could see the people, or they use that when, like at fitness, checking in and things like that. They removed it because unfortunately, the images going up were not photos. If you have an image that you, aren't happy with, I just had somebody the other day that was not happy, you can go ahead and have your picture taken. You may not get a new card. If you want a new card, it's $5. But I believe they will take a picture, and it'll be a new picture on the screen and when they come to your directory.
So you can't submit your own
No.
photo?
No.
Even if it meets the requirements?
Pardon me?
Even if it meets the requirements?
No. I shouldn't say no. I don't know.
Okay.
So I'll make a note, and I'll send you an email and let you know, or I'll let the computer club know. You want to be in a tuxedo? Any other questions? Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
We thank you, and we'll see you next month.